Hi everyone, welcome to Difference Frames the World, an independent channel where you can see the world differently in our daily uploads. Today, we discuss whether Chinese President Xi Jinping will accept US President-elect Donald Trump's invitation for his second inauguration next month. Donald Trump is the first US President-elect in America's history to invite foreign leaders to the United States on his inauguration day. During his appearance at the New York Stock Exchange, where he initiated the day's trading by ringing the opening bell, Trump said he was thinking about inviting certain people to the inauguration. While he refrained from specifying names at that moment, his acknowledgement of potential risks associated with such decisions reflects an understanding of the delicate nature of international relations, particularly putting America's allies and rivals together. His incoming White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, confirmed that Xi Jinping and other world leaders have indeed been invited, marking a move unprecedented in U.S. history according to State Department records. As much of the world watches with anticipation for shifts that may accompany Trump's presidency and his distinct America First approach, these invitations are more than just ceremonial gestures. They represent an opportunity for renewed engagement and mutual understanding among nations during this pivotal time in history. In a previous video about what Donald Trump's victory meant for China, we said the incoming U.S. president will pose less threat to China than expected considering Elon Musk's entangled interests in China and his influence over Trump. Trump's unprecedented invitation for Xi Jinping to attend his second inauguration does not mean he will reconcile with China and treat China as a friend, not a rival. His hostility toward China will not change. He called Xi Jinping his best friend when he was treated like a king in the Forbidden City, when the Chinese president and first lady greeted him, and his wife like emperor and empress, but when he returned to the United States, he immediately launched the trade war with Beijing, giving his best friend a backstab. China's President Xi Jinping will probably decline the invitation to Donald Trump's inauguration, a choice amid a backdrop of heightened tensions, particularly as the president-elect has made his intentions clear regarding economic policies that could significantly affect China. Trump has indicated he plans to impose substantial tariffs on Chinese goods, a typical Trump negotiation tactic to force Beijing to combat illegal immigration and tackle drug trafficking into the United States, including dangerous substances such as fentanyl. However, Donald Trump needs China's help to address foreign policy challenges, like Russia's long-standing conflict with Ukraine. America's national debt has surpassed $36 trillion before he steps into office again. China is rich and he may consider borrowing some money from Beijing, as in 2008 during the subprime crisis. President Xi Jinping is reluctant to lend more money to Donald Trump, and most Chinese, if not all, hope their national leader can be as frugal as he can when facing American beggars. Trump is only interested in money. He has urged NATO allies who currently fall short of their defense spending commitments, set at 2% of their GDP, to either increase their contributions or risk facing potential withdrawal of U.S. support as stipulated by existing NATO treaties in times of conflict. During his first term, he forced the assassinated Shinzo Abe to increase Japan's petty cash for the U.S. Army stationed in Japan. When he enters the White House again, we believe Japan will have to pay more. Donald Trump said the U.S. has been engaging in discussions with President Xi and other global leaders, aiming for positive outcomes across various fronts. He asserted that the U.S. has faced economic and military exploitation, as it shoulders financial burdens while others contribute little yet benefit economically at America's expense. He said the U.S. must put an end to this imbalance. China, for instance, has shipped too much cheap stuff to the U.S., so he wants to end that situation by imposing more tariffs on Chinese goods, making them less affordable for American customers. President Xi Jinping may view accepting the inauguration invitation as detrimental to China's standing amid an increasingly competitive dynamic with the United States during this significant transition period of power in Washington. The Chinese leader would likely not wish to be seen merely as a guest celebrating another leader's triumph, especially when the U.S. leader may implement policies perceived as antagonistic toward China. President Xi Jinping can hardly find it appropriate to entertain his rival by celebrating his victory in front of the world when he has more headaches in Beijing. As such dynamics unfold on the geopolitical stage, both nations remain poised at a crossroads where every decision carries implications not just domestically but globally as well. According to a recent report by CBS, China's ambassador to the United States, along with his spouse, is expected to represent President Xi Jinping at the highly anticipated event scheduled for January 20th. This decision aligns with standard diplomatic protocol, emphasizing the importance of international representation during significant occasions. Furthermore, sources suggest that there may be additional Chinese officials who will join this delegation, underscoring China's interest in maintaining strong diplomatic ties with the incoming Trump administration. In light of the global significance of this event, Inauguration organizers have proactively assigned dedicated staff members specifically tasked with managing diplomatic protocol throughout the ceremony. This careful planning reflects not only a commitment to ensuring smooth proceedings, but also an understanding of the delicate nature of international relations during such pivotal moments. Despite inquiries into this matter, the Chinese embassy in Washington and representatives from the Trump transition team have chosen to remain silent, contributing to an air of anticipation and curiosity surrounding their participation. Nonetheless, Trump's willingness to engage openly with leaders across the political spectrum will ultimately contribute to global peace, unlike his successor and predecessor, Joe Biden, who instigated enough unrest in the past 4 years. Donald Trump's America First mentality is a good thing for the world, as the incoming Trump administration will likely focus more on its domestic affairs than fighting other nations. Chinese President Xi Jinping held a talk with the outgoing Joe Biden last month in Peru, and he drew 5 red lines for the incoming Trump administration. The Chinese leader has made a compelling case this week for collaboration with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump to address trade disputes, highlighting the importance of avoiding a potential trade war. In his letter to the U.S.-China Business Council on Thursday, December 12, 2024, he emphasized that both nations should prioritize dialogue over confrontation and embrace win-win cooperation instead of a zero-sum game. He reaffirmed his dedication to opening China's market to foreign companies, including those from the United States. President Xi Jinping's sentiments were consistent with his speech at a meeting with leaders of major international economic organizations earlier in the week, where he warned that there will be no winners in tariff wars, trade wars, and technology wars. He urged both countries to continue dialogue and effectively manage their differences. The messages from Beijing underscore an urgent need for cooperation and reflect a sense of anxiety, demonstrating Beijing's readiness to collaborate with the incoming Trump administration. Donald Trump is facing a divided nation domestically and a multipolar world internationally. After 4 years of demon crazy, not the so-called democracy under Biden's presidency, the U.S. has become politically polarized and economically paralyzed. Donald Trump can no longer overlook China and other emerging countries from the position of strength. Furthermore, he faces the pressing issue of de-dollarization, a move to undermine America's global hegemony. 2 days ago, India and Russia made an oil deal worth $13 billion and the currency is likely to be RMB, not dollar. Donald Trump threatened to impose a 100% tariff on goods from countries which do not use the dollar as the settlement currency, and we will see whether India, the world's biggest democracy, will be punished or not. The incoming Trump administration will have a hard time in the coming 4 years as China will likely take over the U.S., becoming the world's most powerful nation, whether Washington admits it or not. The chance of Beijing uniting with Taipei during Trump's second term is also very high, and 2027 will be a critical year for Beijing, Taipei, and Washington. Given the current sensitive circumstances, it is highly improbable that Chinese President Xi Jinping will attend Donald Trump's second inauguration, regardless of their close relationship. The geopolitical dynamics and diplomatic considerations make such an appearance unlikely. Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our other videos on global affairs for more insights into this complex and rapidly evolving landscape. We have included most of our videos in the playlist DFTW videos on the end screen for viewers who have not watched them. For those new to DFTW, please subscribe to our channel for our daily uploads. Like, forward and share our videos with your friends, helping DFTW become a club with 1 million, not 100,000 subscribers shortly. We have over 85,000 subs now, and we rely on you to grow it even bigger.